I'm Athena Jezik, and I'm going to be talking to you about the back massage work today and giving a demonstration of that technique. So to begin with, we are putting oil on. This is just a regular organic olive oil that I'm using. It's unscented, and I'm going to apply it to the back. Not too thick, just enough to get a good slip so that my fingers slide easily, gliding along the skin. So to begin with, I take my thumbs and I run down in the thumb iron down either side of the spine, down the vertebrae, to begin to loosen up these muscles, the erector spinae muscles. That's the muscles that hold us erect, and they tend to get a little bit tight, particularly in the upper back. Sometimes the low back is affected by that as well. So I'll run my fingers up and down here, feeling for any tension, any points that need to be maybe held a little while so the muscles can relax out and soften. Another benefit to massage is just being relaxed, being able to let the body go into a relaxed state and find a new pattern. What occurs when we keep it in a tension pattern too long is we begin to develop a muscle memory, which is going to be always in a tension pattern. So it's good to give your muscles a nice, deep, good quality of relaxation. Then from there, I move up to the shoulder area and work the muscles in the opposite direction from the shoulder toward the neck, opening up each little fiber, softening each fiber, and checking for any crepitus or any tension that might be in that area, and hold it and work it out if need be. I'm coming around to the side, and I'll be working in the neck area, the trapezius muscle. And how I work that is getting at the base of the skull and draw my fingers deeply into the trapezius muscle. Again, it's more of a thumb iron technique, a deeper like effleurage technique. And I go along each little band of fiber and pull from the neck down into the scapula where it's attached. Holding onto the shoulder with my hand, having the client soften their shoulder and not hold on to it, I'm able to lift up the scapula and take my fingers underneath the scapula to open up the muscles there, give it a little stretch, and take out any tension that is in that area. When we sit a long time, this is the area that gets very tight, so sometimes this work takes a little while, and sometimes the scapula is so tight that it doesn't lift very high. We have a pretty good lift in this scapula. Another benefit of massage is just general well-being. People feel so much better when they're able to relax. They feel better when the little pain patterns are moved out. They feel better when they can move a little more flexibly. That's not the right word. They feel better when they can move with more flexibility, and there's just a greater sense of well-being through that experience. There I just work the attachment points along the hip, little strokes, to feel primarily for any tension that's along that area. And I work it across with the fiber as well as across the fiber. Then I start at the base there where the SI joint is and work first along the spine, doing a thumb iron all the way up the back. I'm going to do 3 of those. I do it close to the spine and then in the belly of the muscle and then on the edge of the muscle. So there's 3 strokes going up the back from the SI joint up into the occipital base. One of the reasons a person may want to get a massage on a regular basis is to maintain and control the levels of stress, especially the physical parts of the stress that show up. By getting regular massage, as mentioned earlier, the muscles have a chance to relax and the pattern will not continue to stay in a fixed, tight pattern. From there, I move along to the side of the body and I'm working across the erector spinae in a cross fiber type of work. Cross fiber friction, although it's not done quickly. I do it as I'm doing this, I'm stretching open the fibers and allowing for spacing to come in between those fibers. It's a very nice, relaxing movement. And I work that all the way up the spine and then work all the way back down with longer strokes going back down to the bottom of where the hips are, the bottom of the back. And then take my fingers and glide up with one last deep thumb iron to feel inside there for if there's any tension, any knotting, anything left in that backstrap muscle other than relaxed tissue. I'm going to repeat this same thing on the other side. It's just medically, when we are able to deal with our stresses and be able to relax to a higher quality of relaxation, then the stress levels aren't as high. And as we all know, stress will bring in a lot of other symptoms and a lot of other conditions. So we can alleviate that possibility by taking care of ourselves through a simple method of relaxation. What I like about being a massage therapist is I like the fact that very few people get upset with me in my job because I always make people feel better. So that's a big bonus, believe me. But the other thing is I just really do enjoy being a participant and a help in getting people to understand the simplicity of good health. I start up here at the neck and I put my fingers in a V position, one finger on each side of the vertebrae. This is a bit of a vibrational move where I'm vibrating slightly down each of the vertebrae with my fingers on each side of it. I'm right alongside the vertebrae, not on it, and I'm working to go deeper into that tissue there where the attachments are and loosening up even more. But this takes it a little deeper into the actual vertebrae itself where the attachments are so that we can get more flexibility in each individual joint. And then I'm taking my finger, my thumb, and I'm going to be going underneath the backstrap muscle. So I'm pressing kind of toward the vertebrae and lifting it up and rolling my finger underneath so that the fingers will lift up, the thumbs will lift up the erector spinae. So we're working up the body like this. Then at the top, when I get to the neck, then I do one little circular movement around each of the vertebrae. So I'm going circular around each of the vertebrae all the way back down the spine, which again is going to give more flexibility into that vertebrae. And from there, I take my hands and do a long sweep along the side of the body, just opening up, relaxing, checking everything in the intercostal area, making sure that there's no major tension points. Repeating the same thing on the other side, and then coming back to the first side and doing the sweeping upward from the center of the side of the body upward to the back. And that opens and loosens any last little parts of tension that might be involved there. If you've never had a massage before, what you would want to do is either check with your friends for a referral or check in the phone book and be sure to ask questions like how long have they done it, and just go in and experience it. If you like the way the person's technique is, then you might want to stay with them. If you don't, it's a good idea to check around and see what fits your needs the best, because there's a lot of people out there and there's a lot of different techniques, and it's very open, and the main thing is to find the work that works best for you. As I work the back, the way that I do it is I spend a lot of time paying attention to the vertebrae, along the vertebrae, and the muscles that are attaching into the vertebrae, because those are the muscles that seem to take the biggest amount of load through our daily activities. So we're finished with our massage today, and I am going to be just covering her up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.